Welcome back. So we've written our unit tests for zero quantity. What other invalid quantities might we have for putting items into a shopping cart? Are there any other thorns that might be problematic when it comes to quantity? Well, yes, negative quantities are probably out as well. We wouldn't want to be able to add -2 bananas into a shopping cart or -6 beers. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So let's write a unit test for a negative quantity. So the next unit test be something like fact, as usual, public void. We'll stick with the given when then. Given, I'll make the quantity -1. Kind of keeps it simple. Given quantity is... I can't make it -1 here, so I'll spell it out. -1. Given quantity is -1 when call add, then yes, then what? Well, it's another error condition, so let's move on to we should be throwing an exception. Well, we can't throw zero quantity exception because zero quantity is obviously very specific. Can we throw -1 quantity? No, but how about negative quantity exception? Yes, let's do that. Then throw negative quantity exception. Okay, let's just reread that. Given quantity is -1 when call add, then throw negative quantity exception. That looks pretty good. And I am actually going to copy and paste from the previous unit test. When we do this, when we do copy and paste from another test, we then need to go through the pasted code with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that everything is as we want it to be and there isn't any pasting error. So var cart is equal to new shopping cart, that is fine. Action goes to cart, add new product is 0. Well, no, we want that to be -1. Add should throw exactly. Here we want negative quantity and we want to do away with the with message. We don't need that just yet. Add should throw exactly negative quantity. So we've obviously got a compilation error here. Negative quantity is an exception that the system as it stands doesn't know about. We've got a red test. The test fails to compile, so let's fix that by creating a negative quantity exception. So I'll do that below zero quantity, keeping the exceptions together and in the order that they arose in the workflow. Public class, negative quantity. Okay, there's our negative quantity exception. And here is our unit test. Compilation errors have disappeared. Let's run all of our unit tests and see what happens. Alright, we've got a unit test failure. Given quantity is -1 when call add, then throw a negative quantity exception. Our unit test fails. It fails and it says expected type to be negative quantity but found zero quantity. Alright, let's look at our implementation code. So we've got a product, we don't throw a missing product exception, but then we always throw a zero quantity. We actually after that want to throw new negative quantity. As before, this throw new zero quantity is always thrown because it isn't conditioned at all. We never get to a negative quantity. As I've mentioned before, a throw an exception is like a return. The throw new negative quantity this is unreachable code. We never get there. So the way to make it reachable is to create a new conditional. For zero quantity, obviously we want quantities equal to 0. So if product equal to null, throw missing product. If quantity is equal to 0, throw zero quantity, else throw new negative quantity. That looks pretty good. Let's run all of our unit tests and see what happens. Excellent. Given quantity is -1, that new unit test is now passing and we're looking good. Okay, let's extend this unit test and give the negative quantity exception a message. As before, with message, and let's just say we want -1 is an invalid quantity. So as usual, run all our unit tests. This one should now be failing, and it is. It says it didn't have that message. The -1 is invalid quantity was not the exception message. Now, this is interesting. How do we, in the simplest possible way, how do we give negative quantity this exception message? So stop the video and think about this for 30 seconds to a minute. Think about rule number 3 of TDD, which is we should write the least amount of production code to fulfill our failing unit test to make the failing unit test pass. And then come back. See you soon. Alright, how did you go? Let me show you what I mean by the simplest possible exception message for our negative quantity exception, given our current unit test that's checking for -1. So we create the constructor again, public negative quantity, and we'll just make it a default constructor with the base, and then the message that we will give it, and I've actually got it on the clipboard, is that we will hard code the -1 is an invalid quantity. Sure, you'll say, okay, what about -2, 5, -1,000,000? What about those? Are those not negative quantities as well? Yes, we'll come to those, but right here, right now, where we've only got this unit test up here to say for -1, we will actually just return this message here. All right, let me run the unit test. Cool. All the unit tests are passing. We've got a negative quantity, and we've got the negative quantity exception has got this -1 is an invalid quantity error message, which is fantastic. All right, in the next video, we'll go and generalize this condition with other negative quantities. -2, 5, 100. It's got to be able to deal with all of these. Any negative quantity is invalid. I'll see you shortly.